All right, folks. So this video is to cover our SOC 333 Fall 2020 schedule. You can see this is version 3, which means I've already made quite a lot of changes so far. So here you can see that your individual discussion board posts are due Friday at 11:55 p.m. and your 2 peer responses, they're always due Sunday at 11:55 p.m. The reason being is students have given me the feedback that they need that gap to reply to other people, since a lot of people will wait till Friday night to do their individual responses. That sort of makes it impossible to respond to your peers on the same day. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to email me. And then all other assignments are due Sunday at 11:55 p.m. unless otherwise noted in this schedule here. All right, so you see the week, including the starting of the week and the ending of the week, the topic that we're covering, the readings, and then your assignment. As I mentioned in my other video, you can see that there is a discussion board, then a quiz, discussion board, then a quiz, to sort of break up that monotony. For week 1, you'll notice that there are 2 discussion boards, an intro discussion board and a week 1 discussion board. The reason being is I want folks to introduce themselves in order to get to know each other and feel more comfortable talking and interacting. But I also didn't want to load you guys up with like a bunch of assignments. So the intro discussion board is solely for extra credit, and so you'll get 5 points automatically for completing that. You can see that there are some footnotes here. So DB stands for discussion board. AD stands for Angela Davis, which is the author of the book, Are Prisons Obsolete? For week 4, I have it highlighted, and the footnote explains that highlighting, which is that the 15th, which is in week 4, that's the last day to drop a course without a W grade. And so I feel like that's very important as far as like how you're spending your money for tuition and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to draw attention to that deadline for students. And then CG, that abbreviation stands for Captive Genders, which is the second book that we'll be covering for a few weeks. Here you can see that this article is an online article that I've linked. So just be aware of that. It's not a PDF the way the other articles I'm sharing are. You'll also notice that there's a lot of TBD, TBA readings or topics, and that's because I like to have some flexibility. So for week 9, Brianna and I have come up with a topic, which is decolonizing the police and military. However, she would like to take the lead on that week. So I don't have readings picked out yet because I'm letting her take that lead. So in the next couple weeks, we'll have something posted. I will more than likely update this schedule so that the names of the readings are on the schedule. Similarly, in week 10, I want to cover contemporary issues in Hawaii as they relate to our class topic of survey of criminology. However, I'm willing to be flexible on exactly what we cover based off of student interests. So throughout the semester, I'll elicit anonymous feedback from students using a SurveyMonkey link. And one of the questions I'll ask you is, what type of contemporary issues in Hawaii are of interest to you? And that way I can sort of frame that week based off of what you folks are interested in. And so if you don't have any ideas, I've given you some examples. So possible topics include COVID-19 and policing of public space, the school to prison pipeline for Native Hawaiian and Pacific Island students in Hawaii, or building a new prison on Oahu, which is a controversial issue right now. And then I have another TBA week 13. The reason being, it's toward the end of the semester when you're starting to think about your final exams. For our class, you'll be thinking about your final paper and getting that done. And so I want to do a lighter week that week. And depending on the interest of students, I also want it to be a fun topic for you all. So I'm leaving that open for now. And then you can see here for week 14, again, I expect students to be working on all of their final assignments for their classes. So we will revisit theory, including Michelle Foucault, Patricia Hill Collins, that sort of thing. And there won't be any new readings. And then for weeks 15 and 16, Like you're not even revisiting anything. You're just going to be working on your final paper. And then I give that week 16 just a little wiggle room for students in case you need to ask for an extension at the last minute. Note that final exam week for students at UH Manoa is December 14th to 18th. We will not have a final exam for SOC 333 because you're doing an alternative assignment, which is a final paper, and that's due week 15, which is the end of November, beginning of December. And so if you have any questions about that, be aware that, that's a little bit different than maybe perhaps your other classes. And then finally, I also included the day that my grades are due. I've noticed with COVID, I've had students asking for last minute emergency extensions for their final paper. And that's fine, it happens, especially now. So I just want students to be aware that you cannot submit assignments to me later than December 21st because I have to submit my final grades to UH administrators on the 22nd. So that's just kind of an FYI because more and more with COVID, I'm having students ask me that question. All right, so the next thing that I want to go over is your discussion leader rubric. Because this assignment could potentially be something you submit as early as week 2, right? So I'm sure a lot of folks are kind of concerned about that. So here you can see that you need to submit your discussion leader project the Sunday night before your week starts. So if you're brave and bold and you're like, I just want to get my discussion leader project done out of the way, I'm going to sign up for week 2. That means your PowerPoint and all of the components of your final project will be due Sunday at midnight of week 1. Similarly, if you sign up to be discussion leader on week 6, that means your PowerPoint and all of the components of your final discussion leader project are due Sunday at midnight, week 5. So I just want to make sure that's really clear. That means you need to be doing the readings and the videos for the week that you've signed up for in advance so that you can, utilize all of that information in your project. So you'll be graded based off of the content, how you organize everything, how creative your work is, how appropriate it is for your audience, which will be your classmates. And then I'll also be grading a little bit for your ASA APA formatting and the PDF Word doc that you need to create to explain what you did for your project. And so all of that is worth 40 points. The entire project is worth 50 points because you get 10 points simply for signing up for a week in the discussion board forum by the end of week 1. So that's kind of all of the logistics there. And again, remember, if you do end up double or tripling up with another classmate, so you're doing your discussion leader project the same week as somebody else or multiple students, make sure that you all submit an individual project because this is an individual assignment. You can touch base and you should touch base to make sure that you all are including different information on your projects, but that's the extent of your collaboration. Everyone needs to submit an individual assignment for their discussion leader projects. I also have a rubric for your final paper, but I don't want to overwhelm students, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave my video here with the discussion leader project rubric. And then later on, once we start thinking more about the final paper, I'll make a video going over that rubric and that assignment. So that is all I have for you, and I look forward to getting to know everyone this semester. Bye, guys.